Welcome to the purple party known as Purple Nerd Channel, home for all those who geek out on all things Prince related. Artificial Age was released on September 26, 2014, peaking at number 3 on iTunes, number 1 on the R&B charts, number 5 on the Billboard Top 200, as well as charting in 19 other countries. Singles were released for Clouds, Breakdown, and Breakfast Can Wait, which peaked at number 1 on the R&B charts and had its own music video. Artificial Age and PlectrumElectrum were both released simultaneously on the same day, making both releases Prince's first albums in 4 years, which is the longest gap between projects ever in his career. During this time, Prince did release a couple standalone singles, as well as completing 5 sold-out tours. But most of his focus was on obtaining his master recordings, as 2013 would be Prince's 35th anniversary of signing his original contract with Warner Brothers. And under the Copyright Act law, he was eligible to regain those master recordings. So Prince started negotiations with Warner Brothers to regain all of his master recordings instead of waiting for the 35th anniversary for each one of his individual contracts with them. In the end, Prince would regain full control and ownership of all of his master recordings. In exchange in that deal though, he agreed to release 2 new albums under Warner Brothers, fulfilling that agreement with Artificial Age and PlectrumElectrum, but also he would oversee the remastering of his album Purple Rain, which would be released as part of the Super Deluxe Edition released in 2017. This album is a collaborative effort between Prince and Joshua Welton. Joshua is married to Hannah Welton, the drummer in Third Eye Girl. Prince had heard that not only was Joshua a great keyboardist, but he did have experience producing a few songs for a couple local R&B and gospel acts. It was suggested that Joshua should go ahead and audition to be one of the in-house producers at Paisley Park Studios, which led to Prince handing over to him 2 of the finished tracks from Third Eye Girl, and instructing him to construct his own remix of each song. Impressed with what he heard, Prince started offering him more songs to work on, creating a new musical relationship between the 2 of them. They also found common ground spiritually, as Joshua and Hannah were leaders in their local church. As a matter of fact, after Prince's passing, Joshua would start his own ministry. During the recording of this project, Joshua and Prince would trade musical ideas, adding new layers to each one's musical creations. So let's explore these musical creations as we open up with the first song, Artificial Cage. This album opens up with a surprising dance track, which changes pace multiple times, and even gets into a little bit of that operatic singing. The song features the Golden Hippie singing alongside with Prince. In the song, Prince is asking everyone to wake up and walk out of the artificial cage that they have surrounded themselves with, as he's taking shots at the digital world that we now live in, and how we're glued to our phones, the TV, and pretty much all of social media. And is it me, or in the beginning of the song, does Prince sound like really congested? Anyways, next is Clouds. We're getting high on something that doesn't require clouds, no. This song continues the theme of the first song, as we're still fighting against the digital age, as Prince reminds everyone that the physical touch of someone is way more soothing and unexpected than a simple text message. And not everything we do needs to be on a stage for the world to see. The song features Liana Lahavas, and aside from singing, she also does some spoken dialogue that starts a side story to the album, making it almost a concept album, as she informs Mr. Nelson, aka Prince, that he has just woken up after being asleep for 45 years. Which I'm not sure what the significance, if there is any, of the 45 years, because if we take 2014 when this album came out, and we go backwards 45 years, that puts us in 1969. And if we take 2014 and we go forward 45 years, that puts us in 2023. If anyone out there knows if there is a significance to that particular time span, let me know in the comments down below. Next is Breakdown. Breaking me down, down, down. This is a fantastical song performed beautifully by Prince, as in the song he opens up to his lady, letting her know that she has broken down his defenses and now he is open and vulnerable to her, and is truly falling in love with her. He also reminisces about the past when he was a broken man, and has truly learned from his mistakes and is ready to move forward. There is an unreleased version of this song performed by Third Eye Girl. Next is the gold standard.
Gold standard, crazy, amazing, upper echelon group.
Now this song right here, this is my jam. This party anthem has Prince letting everyone know that he only gives you the best music possible that he can create, full of soul and a moving spirit. Next is You Know.
You know how much I want you. You know how much I care.
So I'll be up front, this song really confuses me because I hear two songs happening at the same time. The verses, which are done with a very unique delivery, speak of empowering women in the music industry. But the chorus is about him wanting to show off his lady to everyone. If I missed something, would you please let me know in the comments down below? Because sonically, this song is real nice. Next is Breakfast Can Wait.
I think I want another body, you babe. Breakfast can wait.
Dude, this song right here. This groove was recorded in 2012 with no input from Joshua Welton. This song's message is really simple, as Prince obviously got some good loving the night before, and he would like to go ahead and have another round of that loving as, breakfast can go ahead and wait. And I gotta say, there is so much humor in this song, and Prince ends the song with a voice effect that I can't even say is a callback to Camille, because it's like straight up Alvin and the Chipmunks territory. But in the genius that is Prince, it somehow works. Next is This Could Be Us.
This could be us. Would you be playing?
Inspired by a meme, this song has Prince addressing his lady that she ain't ready for a real relationship. And can I please get a standing ovation for the line, "You know you want me like a new pair of shoes." Next is What It Feels Like.
This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
This duet between Prince and Andy Ayo was recorded in 2011. In the song, they expressed their desires to be with one another, but without all the games, requesting that each other be themselves, with honesty and openness. The song features metaphors that reference biblical figures, Saul and David. Next is Affirmation 1 and 2.
Affirmation number 1. There are no such words as me or mine.
Prince's awakening storyline is revisited in this one, with instructions being given to him that there is no longer ownership in a relationship, eliminating the control over one another, with the first affirmation being that the words me and mine no longer exist. The second affirmation is divulged in the next song, which is Way Back Home. This song seamlessly transitions from affirmation 1 and 2, with the second affirmation being that he must find his way back home, as his former relationships had left him for spiritual enlightenment, explaining and expressing that the fact that they left you in the grand scheme of things wasn't a bad thing, which I believe is in direct correlation to his relationship with Vanity, who years after leaving Prince became an evangelical preacher. In the song, Prince is reminiscing about the past and his struggles with fame and even his parents' struggle with raising him. He now realizes that he wasn't meant to stay here, and it's time to start planning for the end and make his way back to God. Next is Funk and Roll. This song is featured in more of a rock format on PlectrumElectrum, tying these two albums together with almost an interconnecting theme of this is how we used to record and this is how we record music now. I do like this version better than the PlectrumElectrum version.
Party like you ain't gonna party again. Let's walk. Let's walk.
Not saying that that version is bad in any way, I just prefer this one more, as all in all, this is an awesome party song. Next is Time.
I think it's about time. Time.
On on this song, Prince is sounding like he's on a phone call that's on speakerphone, and he's confessing to Andy Ayo, who is featured on the chorus, that he feels it's about time for their relationship to be out in the open and for the whole world to know about their love. Which I'm not sure if this is a fictional relationship or if they had at one time been a couple. This song was recorded in 2011 while they were working together on her album Superconductor. We close out with Affirmation 3. This song picks up from the continuation of Affirmation 1 and 2 and the song Way Back Home. The final affirmation being that you are actually everything and anything that you can think of. All of it is you. Meaning that with total spiritual enlightenment, you can then gain inner peace. And it's okay now to go home because your work is complete. This album and the album PlectrumElectrum together feel like Prince is closing out a chapter. And it could be in his career or in his personal life, as the two albums take you through a trip through the past and into the future, with him coming to terms with all the steps in the journey of his life and walking away with inner peace and calmness, as all of it, the good and the bad, was for the greater good in the very end, and he's now ready to go back home. Prince continued to release music with Hit and Run Phase 1 and Phase 2, which it was rumored that he was going to use this series to empty the vault out, with plans of releasing Phase 3, 4, and 5. But unfortunately, I couldn't find any solid evidence that Prince had ever said that, or that anyone that was working with Prince at the time could confirm. He was also collaborating with several artists, like Andy Ayo, Mono Neon, Judith Hill, and Janelle Monáe, just to name a few. But there are several stories out there that he started turning his creativity to writing, as around this time he started working on his autobiography, and also shown interest in writing non-fiction books and even writing film scripts. Obviously though, Prince would never walk away from music completely, but maybe he wanted to take his creativity in a new direction. With ownership of his masters, Prince started repairing past personal and professional relationships, inviting more people that he hadn't seen in a long time to shows at Paisley Park, and saying thank you and I'm sorry, with royalty checks showing up unannounced in several Purple family members' bank accounts. You know, I always envisioned Prince being 85 years old, frail and thin, still rocking a bright, colorful suit with his little mustache, sitting on a stool in front of a crowd at Paisley Park with his acoustic guitar, asking everyone out there, what do y'all want to hear next? But apparently that's just a dream now. I wish you heaven.